After we've been spending so much time at home with our kids over the past 2 years, you might be noticing their growth spurts and changes in weight even more than before. But how serious is weight gain, and when should you be concerned? To break it all down is Nishta Saxena, registered dietitian. Always good to talk to you. This is an important subject.
It's very important. Great to be here, Anne-Marie.
All right, let's start with the health concerns around childhood obesity. How prevalent is it in Canada?
Yeah, so we can see in the past 30 years, there's been about a doubling from a 6 to 12% in terms of childhood obesity. So this is focused on kids from 2 to 17 years old. It is on the rise, but again, this is a very systemic issue. It relates to systems, food insecurity, poverty as factors. It's not really something that just relates to individual factors.
When we're dealing with kids, it's very tricky, especially with kids that are in that age group where, their bodies are fluctuating and changing all the time. How closely should we monitor our children's weight, and how should we message that?
Yeah, it's a great question. So this is something that's very, very important. I would say that you don't actually have to worry about your child's weight. I know that might sound strange considering the statistic I just told you, but truthfully, children aren't going to grow in a linear fashion. Their weight is going to change through the growth spurts you mentioned at age 2, 5, 8, and especially through their teen years. If your child is following their own trend, that's the thing that's the most important. So we don't need to monitor our child's weight. And importantly, we also have to understand children could gain up to 14 kilograms during their hormonal pubescent changes. The one thing I want to make sure that parents know and take away from this is that when you're concerned about your child's weight, please don't talk to them about it. I know that sounds strange, but you don't want to mention your child's body or weight in a negative or shaming way directly to your child, because this is something that actually causes great harm and we know can increase the risk of mental health symptoms.
Absolutely. When you're a parent and then you're monitoring it, not talking, but keeping an eye on it yourself, when does it become worrisome outside of the regular fluctuation in weight?
Well, interesting. Instead of looking at just the weight of your child, I would look at behavior. So if you do have concerns, take a look at your child's behavior. Have they stopped wanting to eat dinner with you? Have you noticed that there's a reduction in meals that you're having together, but there's hiding or hoarding of any kind of food or some type of binge eating pattern? As well, if you notice your child has mood or emotional regulation issues and big changes in mood that is associated with weight gain, these are the things that are real red flags that you want to discuss with your child. And as a parent, if your child has distress, if they themselves tell you they're concerned about their body or their eating, those are signs to actually take very seriously.
Yeah, it's the habits around eating and not necessarily the number on the scale that should be the big concern.
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to also mention that it's very important for the other adults in your child's life, doctors, teachers, coaches, and even other family members to really not speak very much about their child's body and weight directly. And if you do have concerns, have those conversations away from your child, because we want to know that there's so much more to our children than their bodies and the way their bodies look. And we don't want them to carry negative feelings about their bodies through those developing years.
Yeah, there are some definite cultural and generation landmines there in that conversation. This is an area, Nishta, that you specialize in. So give us some instruction. What shouldn't parents do if they might be watching their child's weight, maybe some concern?
Absolutely. So this is what I specialize in, and I've seen thousands of families over many, many years. My number one recommendation is, of course, if you have concerns, you want to start to establish a team that can specialize in children's health. So this will include your child's doctor, have a conversation with them, make sure there's nothing else going on that may be triggering this type of weight change, but don't do that where your child is present. I would also suggest having another set of team members, such as a pediatric dietitian and potentially a counselor of some type, to help work with the family and the child. And the one thing I want to say is a child that's struggling with weight or obesity issues, it's really not a child problem. It's actually a family issue. So I want parents to think of it as an issue that the whole family is going to work together on, so we don't ostracize our child.
All right, Nishta, thanks so much. Always great. An important conversation to have. Thanks for highlighting it for us.
Great to be here.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.